It's hard to believe we've already reached the midpoint of 2025. Over the past 6 months, the indie scene has thrived, delivering a wealth of standout titles. Today, we're diving into the most captivating indie games released from January to June, highlighting the ones that truly define the first half of the year. We start at number 25 with Crashland 2. Crashland 2 is a vibrant survival crafting RPG that builds on the quirky charm of its predecessor while introducing deeper mechanics and a more expressive world. You reprise the role of Flux Dabes, a galactic delivery driver who crash lands again on the alien planet Wono, now teeming with new biomes, eccentric NPCs, and mysterious threats. The game blends exploration, base building, and combat with absurd humor and heartfelt moments, making it feel like a cozy sci-fi adventure wrapped in cartoon chaos. Crashland 2 introduces a clever crafting system tied to social bonds. You unlock recipes by befriending locals and earning insights, which also boost drop rates and unlock new gear.
Exceeding all expectations.
Nice Day for Fishing is a delightfully absurd pixel art RPG that turns a background NPC into the unlikely hero of Azeroth. You play as Balin, a fisherman whose iconic line, "Nice day for fishing, ain't it?" becomes the rallying cry of a world suddenly devoid of adventurers. With a fishing rod as your weapon, you'll battle sea monsters, unlock spells, and rebuild the town of Honeywood through quests and underwater exploration. Gameplay revolves around a clever fishing combat system where timing, bait selection, and spell casting turn each catch into a strategic encounter. Boss fights add tension and variety, while gear upgrades and divine blessings from the fishing god deepen progression.
And face foul beasts in the deep, dark places of the world.
Tainted Grail: The Fall of Avalon is a brooding first-person open-world RPG that reimagines Arthurian legend through a lens of dark fantasy and moral ambiguity. You begin as a prisoner on the war-torn Isle of Avalon, haunted by the soul of King Arthur itself, who seeks resurrection through your actions. The game draws heavy inspiration from Oblivion and Kingdom Come Deliverance, featuring skill-based progression, dungeon crawling, and a flexible combat system that mixes swordplay, spellcasting, and stealth. Beyond combat, players can engage in fishing, farming, blacksmithing, cooking, and house management, all while exploring 3 massive zones. The Precinct is a single-player sandbox police sim where you play as rookie officer Nick Cordell Jr., determined to uncover the truth behind his father's mysterious death. Inspired by classic cop films and early Grand Theft Auto titles, the game blends procedural law enforcement with chaotic action. You can patrol on foot, chase suspects in destructible car chases, and even call in helicopters for aerial takedowns. The game emphasizes proper procedure, reading rights, searching suspects, and booking them accurately, while rewarding players who follow the rules with XP and upgrades. The game used top-down isometric perspective gives every pursuit and shootout a retro flair, while destructible environments and dynamic weather add realism.
All of my right title.
Blueprints is a masterfully layered roguelike puzzle adventure that transforms a haunted mansion into a living shifting board game. You play as Simon, a teenager tasked with finding the elusive Room 46 in his late uncle's estate, a house that rebuilds itself every morning. Each day, you draft rooms onto a 5x9 grid, choosing from randomized options that may contain puzzles, traps, or clues. With only 50 steps per day, every move counts, and the mansion's secrets unfold slowly through clever note-taking, strategic planning, and a growing understanding of its mechanics. Even after reaching Room 46, the game reveals new layers of mystery, puzzles, and lore.
Should my grandnephew fail, then
Beholder Conductor is a spin-off from the acclaimed Beholder series, placing you in the role of a senior conductor aboard the legendary train known as the Determination Bringer. Gameplay revolves around surveillance, interrogation, and moral decision-making. Observe fare evaders, search luggage, report suspicious behavior, or even eject passengers. As you climb the ranks, you'll gain access to VIP compartments and uncover a web of corruption, smuggling, and rebellion. You'll decorate train cars, uncover contraband, and decide whether to help or betray passengers, all while managing limited supplies and facing time-sensitive dilemmas.
I was dreaming about becoming a point.
Eternal Strands is a spellbinding action RPG that blends elemental magic, physics-based combat, and colossal boss battles into a rich fantasy tapestry. You play as Bryn, a weaver navigating the ruins of the Enclave. The game elemental magic system lets you freeze, burn, or telekinetically hurl objects and enemies with creative freedom. You can pin a titan's arm to the ground with ice, ignite foliage to trap foes, or use kinetic blasts to launch monsters into chasms. These powers come alive during great foe battles, which evoke Shadow of the Colossus and Monster Hunter with climbable giants, puzzle-like mechanics, and multiple reward paths depending on how you fight.
I'm up for that challenge.
Into the Dead Our Darkest Days is a side-scrolling survival game set in 1980s Walton City, Texas, during the onset of a zombie apocalypse. You lead a group of desperate survivors through a collapsing urban landscape, scavenging for resources, crafting weapons, and managing both physical and emotional needs. Each day brings new threats: hunger, exhaustion, trauma, and every night, your shelter faces relentless attacks from the undead. Survivors have unique traits and skill sets, and your decisions shape who lives, who dies, and how far you're willing to go to protect the group. Citizen Sleeper 2 Starwood Vector is a narrative-driven sci-fi RPG that builds on the tabletop-inspired systems of its predecessor with deeper mechanics and a broader scope. You play as a sleeper, on the run from both a corporate overlord and a criminal gang. Set in the Starwood Belt, the game introduces a ship-based structure where you recruit crew members, take on high-risk contracts, and navigate morally complex choices. Each class, operator, extractor, or machinist, offers unique tactical advantages, and the revamped dice system adds tension through stress, glitches, and push abilities that can turn the tide or spiral into disaster. AI Limit is a sci-fi Souls-like RPG that blends anime aesthetics with post-apocalyptic grit, set in a world overrun by toxic black mud and monstrous necros. You play as Arisa, a synthetic warrior known as a blader, tasked with restoring balance by repairing mysterious branches and uncovering the truth behind humanity's collapse. Combat is fast-paced and strategic, featuring a wide arsenal of weapons, spellcasting via a transformation system, and a sync rate mechanic that rewards aggressive and defensive play. The game blends Souls-like challenge with anime flair, offering branching quests, NPC interactions, and deep customization.
These hollow vessels is my duty, or rather my...
Number 8490.
Karma: The Dark World is a haunting first-person psychological thriller that plunges players into a dystopian society ruled by the omnipresent Leviathan Corporation. You play as Daniel McGovern, a memory-diving agent whose job is to uncover truths buried in the minds of suspects. But as Daniel's own memories begin to unravel, the line between reality and delusion blurs. Gameplay centers on exploration, puzzle solving, and mind dives into distorted memoryscapes. You'll decode cryptic clues, reconstruct events, and manage Daniel's sanity as hallucinations and unreliable narration creep in.
Always be open for those who serve.
Cybernight's Flashpoint is a turn-based tactical RPG set in a gritty cyberpunk future where megacorporations rule and the environment has collapsed. You play as a cyber knight, a mercenary leading a customizable crew through high-stakes heists, faction politics, and underworld intrigue. Missions are multi-stage and gridless, emphasizing stealth, hacking, Overwatch tactics, and initiative manipulation. With over 40 multi-class combinations, deep talent trees, and a dynamic story engine, your squad evolves based on choices, injuries, and relationships. The game also features safe house upgrades, gear modding, and a reputation system that affects how fixers, arms dealers, and rivals treat you. Door Kickers 2 Task Force North is a real-time tactical strategy game that puts you in command of elite special operations units conducting high-risk missions in the fictional Middle Eastern country of Nowaraki. As the sequel to the acclaimed Door Kickers, it shifts from SWAT-style urban raids to military operations involving hostage rescues, bomb defusals, and counterterrorism. The game features a top-down perspective with pause-at-will mechanics, allowing you to plan and execute complex assaults in destructible environments. You can choose from distinct units like U.S. Army Rangers, CIA Special Activities Division, and Nowaraki SWAT, each with unique gear, doctrines, and tactical styles. The Midnight Walk is a first-person cozy horror adventure crafted entirely from clay and animated in stop motion. You play as the Burnt One, a soul risen from the grave who befriends Pop Boy, a living lantern creature, and together you must brave a world plunged into eternal night. Under its haunting claymation veneer lies a puzzle-driven journey split into 5 self-contained chapters exploring themes of fire, darkness, and memory. With no combat system, you escort Pop Boy through shadowy corridors by lighting candles and matches to ward off monsters. Close your eyes to reveal hidden paths, and employ a matchlock gun to solve environmental riddles from afar. Dark Deity 2 is a turn-based tactical RPG that expands on its predecessor with deeper customization, strategic combat, and a richly branching narrative. Set 25 years after the original, the game follows Gwen and Riordan, descendants of Irving, as they lead the Eternal Delegation against the expansionist Holy Aspharelian Empire. The game features streamlined turn-based battles with objective-driven maps, customizable difficulty, and a robust class system that allows for powerful builds and strategic flexibility. Characters gain unique skills through promotions, and gear can be enhanced with runes and crafted rings for stat boosts. The Altars is a psychological sci-fi survival game by 11-Bit Studios, where you play as Jandalski, the lone survivor of a doomed space expedition who must escape a hostile planet by creating alternate versions of himself. Each altar has unique skills, personalities, and emotional baggage, turning base management into a psychological drama. The game blends third-person exploration with 2.5D base management, reminiscent of Frostpunk and XCOM. You'll scavenge resources, build rooms, and assign altars to tasks like research, repair, and crafting, all while navigating their moods, relationships, and rebellion risk. Doloc Town is a side-scrolling pixel art farming sim set in a post-apocalyptic world where nature and civilization have both collapsed. You play as Prody, a young woman returning to her childhood home. Given a poisoned plot of land, you're tasked with rebuilding not just your farm, but the spirit of the town itself. Farming here isn't idyllic, it's survival. You'll craft vertical planters to avoid toxic soil, shield crops from acid rain and heat waves, and unlock automation through a sprawling tech tree. The game blends cozy life sim elements with survival mechanics, crafting, exploration, and light combat, offering a rhythm that's equal parts Stardew Valley, Terraria, and Cave Story. Rooftops and Alleys, the parkour game, is a high-flying urban freestyle simulator where players master a fluid vocabulary of movement. You'll chain together gravity-defying stunts, race through time trials, and compete in game modes like tag, capture the flag, and trick battles. A unique pigeon companion helps you scout new routes, fast travel, and drop session markers, while over 100 customization options let you style both your character and your bird. You can switch between third and first-person views, activate slow motion for cinematic flair, and use the ragdoll or bail button for hilarious wipeouts. Ender Magnolia, Bloom in the Mist is a beautifully crafted Metroidvania that builds upon the legacy of Ender Lilies with refined gameplay, haunting visuals, and a deeply emotional narrative. You play as Lilac, an attuner who cannot fight directly but summons homunculi allies to battle on her behalf. The companion-based battle system allows for creative combos and tactical flexibility, with each homunculus offering distinct weapon types and upgrade paths. The game allowing players to mix and match homunculi across 4 ability slots. Each companion evolves with new weapons and elemental effects. Keep Driving is an atmospheric management RPG where you play as a young driver who's just bought their first car and received a letter inviting them to a music festival across the country. What begins as a simple road trip quickly spirals into a branching journey filled with hitchhikers, odd jobs, broken roads, and unexpected detours. Gameplay blends turn-based with resource management, where you solve roadside challenges using glovebox items, character traits, and hitchhiker abilities. You'll upgrade your car, manage fatigue, repair damage, and make tough choices that lead to one of 9 possible endings.
'Cause my heart is a shell, don't let anything, never, ever.
3, 2, 1, go! The Rift brought.
Rift of the Necrodancer is a rhythm-based action game. It's a spin-off of Crypt of the Necrodancer that reimagines musical combat in a modern setting. You play as Cadence, who's been pulled into a strange new world where monsters surge through dimensional rifts. To survive, you must master rhythm rifts, 3-lane musical battles where each enemy has unique timing and movement patterns. Beyond its core rhythm combat, the game offers quirky mini-games inspired by Rhythm Heaven, boss battles with time counterattacks, and a story mode filled with slice-of-life moments. Remix mode adds endless replayability by reshuffling enemy patterns daily, while custom beat maps and mod support let players personalize their experience.
The Rift took it all, but I'm gonna get it back.
Promise Mascot Agency is a surreal open-world mascot management RPG that blends Yakuza-style crime drama with absurdist humor and heartfelt storytelling. You play as Michi, a disgraced Yakuza lieutenant exiled to the cursed town of Keisomaki, where he must rebuild a bankrupt mascot agency while unraveling the mystery behind his downfall. Gameplay mixes driving, exploration, and management sim mechanics with turn-based card battles that play out like chaotic live streams. You'll recruit mascots, send them on jobs, and intervene when things go wrong, whether it's a haunted vending machine or a doorway too narrow. Monster Train 2 is a roguelike deck-building strategy game where you command a train crewed by demons and fallen angels on a vertical battlefield spanning hell, heaven, and the abyss. The game retains its signature 3-floor combat system while introducing 5 brand new clans, each with unique mechanics, champions, and synergies. You'll defend your pyre heart, build powerful decks, and experiment with room and equipment cards to gain strategic advantages. Beyond combat, Monster Train 2 expands its systems with train customization, daily challenges, and a hub called the Covenant Outpost where story progression unfolds. Deltarune is a chapter-based RPG created by Toby Fox, the developer of Undertale, and serves as a parallel story rather than a direct sequel. You play as Chris, a quiet teenager who alongside the rebellious Susie and the gentle Prince Ralsei, is drawn into the dark world, a surreal realm born from ordinary objects. Mechanically, Deltarune innovates on the turn-based formula by turning every battle into a unique puzzle. You can fight, act, negotiate, or dodge bullet hell attacks to spare foes, all while managing a shared TP resource that fuels powerful spells and heals. These systems evolve across chapters, keeping encounters fresh and strategic without ever overstaying their welcome. Player Obscure Expedition 33 is a breathtaking fusion of turn-based RPG mechanics and real-time action, set in a surreal Belle Époque-inspired world where mortality is dictated by a mysterious paintress who erases entire age groups each year. You play as members of Expedition 33, a doomed yet determined group trying to end this cycle. Gameplay-wise, it reinvents turn-based combat with active dodging, parrying, and timed attacks that make every encounter feel urgent and strategic. Each character has distinct mechanics, like elemental stacking, stance dancing, or even absorbing enemy abilities, creating a dynamic party system that rewards experimentation. So that is the best indie game for the first half of 2025. Which game is your favorite? Or do you have other games that not make into the list? Please let me know in the comment. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.